Yes, I'm the National Manager of Industry Liaison and Government Relations at NTI. NTI is the predominant heavy vehicle insurer in Australia and has been for some time and continues to grow as far as our provision of heavy vehicles insurance is concerned. The other thing I'm involved in is accident research, and we use NTI's data to create and publish results from accident cause and findings, and I'm Director of Research in that area as well.
Excellent, thank you. Today you presented some data to the Bulk Tanker Day, which has come from your extensive research. Could you, and I understand that some of that is not specific to tankers, but is probably more generic of the fleet of heavy vehicles. Can you just give us a little bit of background on some of the key learnings from that research?
Yeah, as far as the bulk fleet's concerned, there are some idiosyncrasies in relation to what we find with our accidents, and it relates really to where we get a rollover and we're getting spillage and clean-up, and that's relevant to the way we're rating the dangerous goods fleets, particularly with the tanker fleet. Many of the incidents that we get with accidents with this side of the market is very, very similar to, obviously, the rest of the road freight carrying industry. I mean, we've still got interaction with traffic, we've still got interaction with animals on the roads and this sort of thing. So it doesn't necessarily suggest that tankers are any different to the rest of the road fleet. They've just got further risk, and at times they've got obviously a higher cost if we've got a clean-up scenario. In relation to the industry in general, we've been doing the studies for now 14 or 15 years, and I do major crash studies every 2 years, and we publish our findings from that. Over that period of time, we've established, and it's a very genuine comparison to find that we've had 40% less heavy vehicle accidents over $50,000 over that period of time. If I look at what the data is now to what it was. Ultimately, as far as the industry is concerned, that's an extremely good result, and the result continues to improve in relation to their commitment to safety and compliance generally. So we're looking at a better industry these days, irrespective of the way we tend to focus on incidents as we have done today. And we must focus on that. Ultimately, we want zero tolerance for any sort of incident or accident on the road, but the results continue to get better and road behaviour continues to get better.
Excellent, thank you. One last question. That 40% improvement is really pleasing. How do we compare with overseas countries? Does your research give you any sense of Australia versus, say, Europe in terms of road safety outcomes?
The results in Australia, given the freight task in Australia is quite unique. You've got to look at, the environments that we work in, and you've got to look at the amount of distances that a lot of our trucks cover, particularly the over-the-road trucks and the trucks that are running interstate and long distances. Our result is very good as far as benchmarking, safety benchmarking by world standards, but you can't leave it there. I mean, the real issue is when you compare things, you're not comparing like with like. Overseas, the road infrastructure is very different. The population of other vehicles on the road are very, very different. I mean, ultimately, all I can really say is when we look at numbers and incident rate of heavy vehicle accidents, the Australian result is very good, and it benchmarks very, 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 very highly. But if I look then into specific freight sectors and operating in urban metropolitan environments, it's too hard to make a comparison because really, I mean, we deal in remote areas in Australia and we have such a small population, but the freight task and the handling of the freight task here is a tough one, and it's and by all standards, we handle it very, very well.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much.